Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's briefing session. Really excited to have you here with us. I know a lot of work is going on behind the scenes, and a lot of you are well underway to your Techathons becoming a success. So really exciting to see all of the work coming into place. Again, just a reminder, if you need any help or anything like that, we are available on Discord, so please be sure to send us any questions or concerns that you have at this stage with planning. So let's begin. So just a few reminders, the risk assessment. So please make sure that if you haven't submitted your risk assessment, that you do so as urgently as possible. This is very important, not only for you, but also for us to know that you are planning to take the correct steps to ensure that your Techathon is as safe as possible for your participants. Then, of course, accessing your playbook. So on your playbook, pretty much all the information that you need to host like a successful Techathon is all on there. So please make sure that you do access that and that you go through the chapters, because we have added some new information along the way. Then, of course, it's time for you all to choose your agendas. So as a reminder, we have two types of agendas. So we have the boot camp agenda. That is the agenda that if your participants are all able to attend the boot camp week, you will then choose that agenda. All that agenda does is it has a little bit more time that we've allowed for building the project. And the reason for that is that the participants aren't needing to do any workshops during the day. The non-boot camp agendas, that is if your participants haven't been able to join the boot camp session, so whether that be for accessibility reasons or anything like that, we will then provide a few very short workshops during that agenda just to help them get a little bit more up to speed, but they will also have access to the recordings of the boot camp week if they would like, but they probably won't be time during the Techathon to go through those recordings. Just as a reminder, so these are the agendas. So if you could just please let us know in your Discord channel which of the agendas you are wanting to do, and if you have any questions about the agendas. We will also, before I move on, there has also been some confusion about us removing the Friday from the agendas. So what we have done is we've created a very short Friday agenda. It's 1 hour long. So if you would still like to have some time on Friday with your participants, you are welcome to do so. So all that will be a very short hour just to do some icebreakers, to meet your participants, get them in their teams. And then day two, so that will then be day two, which would be the Saturday. It will follow the exact same agenda as what you see on your screen here. Andre, would you mind if I kept the questions until the end? I just want to try and get through everything as quickly as possible. I'm just going to move on for now. So the agenda of our session today, so we're going to be going over the weekly to-dos, which is going to include setting up participant calls, the risk assessment, support grant, and locations needs. Great, so we are in week 11 and week 12. Can you believe it has been already 12 weeks since you all started planning and beginning your Techathon? So really a lot of work is going on, so well done everyone. So now at this stage, you should be starting to set up some participant calls. So you should be meeting and greeting with your mentors. So typically you just hold a call with them to discuss any questions they may have, to meet them all, and also to introduce them all to each other, because they will very likely be working quite closely with each other when they're mentoring, because they'll be supporting the teams together. You will also share the agenda with them so that they are aware of exactly what times they need to be available at the event and any specific instructions for them to meet you at the event. So do they need to go to floor 3 of a building, or is there a specific link they need to join on, etc. Another good thing to do is show them, and this is particularly for virtual hackathons, virtual Techathons, but also applies to in-person Techathons. If you are going to be using Discord, just giving them a brief overview of how to use Discord and what they should do during the mentoring session. So that would be joining voice channels, or sending messages to the channel asking their team if they need any support. Then, of course, safeguarding. We really do ask that you focus on this quite a lot with the mentors. The mentors need to be aware of how to safeguard and how to keep their participants safe. So this includes communicating safely with the young people and the do's and don'ts of communicating and interacting with young people. Then you should go over the judges. So share the judging criteria. It's very important that the mentors have some understanding of what the judging criteria are. This is all in their mentor handbook, but sometimes they may have a few questions. So just sharing what the judging criteria and who the judges are. So this would be great if you also have the judges on the call to do an introduction. Then you can have a Q&A with them. So any questions that they may have, you can answer them. And if any questions come up that you aren't too sure how to answer, just pop us a message on Discord and we'll be able to assist you in answering that. Then, of course, hosting a meet and greet with your teenagers and parents. This is just a way for the parents to learn what their kids are participating in, and also for the teenagers to get a good idea of what they will be doing. So you should talk through the agenda, time commitment, how to join, where to be, etc. You should show them the course platforms. This includes, this is where they'll be doing most of their work throughout the day. So just show the relevant course pages, how to access the learning platform, how it's structured, what will be covered, and how and when the mentors will be there to support them. Additionally, and same as the mentor ones, you should be helping them with Discord, so just helping them understand how to use the platform, as I'm sure you have learned quite well over the last few weeks. And then also just social media, I think also I just want to mention here, social media is also very important, so encouraging them to share that they'll be joining in the hackathon and that they're excited to be joining. And then, of course, continuing with your outreach and adding your current teams to teams. So if you have started to receive some registrations, I do recommend starting as early as possible. Just adding people to teams, you can always slightly adjust it as you go, but just start getting those teams pretty much in place. From my personal perspective, the way that I usually do it is I will take the coding abilities and the ages. So I'll always age 12 to 16, they will always be mixed in a group with a mixture of boys and girls. And then 17 to 18-year-olds, they're in different teams. I think we discussed this a few weeks ago as well. So just start getting those teams built. You don't have to name the teams will name themselves. So just number them, team 1, team 2, team 3, etc. Then, of course, if you are having any difficulty with outreach, I know some areas we've spoken to are struggling sometimes with mentor outreach, please let us know on the locations and needs documents. This is in the playbook and also on Discord. So just update there if there's anything that you feel you need support with for your location. Risk assessment guide and upload. So please make sure that you are uploading that risk assessment. If you need any assistance with it, there is a guide how to fill it. And we've also recorded a video on how to fill that great. Then the support grant. This is a provisional of up to £150. Sorry, I have something in my throat. So it's a support grant of £150 for any LAs who may need it. So the deadline to apply for this is the 23rd of February. And upon application, you must be able to provide a financial breakdown of how that grant will be used and a copy of receipts or invoices for any items that you are looking at getting. So some examples of how this could be used is for food during the Techathon, or if you are wanting to provide internet, for example, anything like that. But it does need to be things that are being used during the Techathon. I've mentioned this very briefly, but the locations and needs documents. So we'll be sharing a live document. This is the locations and needs document with you. What you need to do is add the needs of your location. So if you need participants, mentors, judges, or teams, or prizes, or a venue, or anything like that, this just lets us know where you are struggling and where we can support you. Please do not edit anyone else's information because it's all just one document and we want to make sure that everyone has the support that they need. That went a lot quicker than I thought it would. Perfect. I'll now open the floor for a Q&A. So if anyone would like to pop any questions our way.
I also just quickly want to add, now that we have shared the Inspiration Week links, please try to share that with your participants. We will also be sharing an email with the registered participants just to nudge them to sign up for the Inspiration Week. And the same will be done for Bootcamp Week.
In our case, we will have one mentor, for example, in ethics, AI ethics, for 2 groups. So should we just put them to do different team channels, right? Or do you have a kind of a timetable or schedule when and who goes where of these mentors?
Do you mind reminding me if you are hosting a virtual or in-person or hybrid?
Virtual.
Okay. So the mentors will be in both team groups, and what they can do is split their own time. So they have an hour mentoring session. They can spend the first half an hour. If the one team says, we're still busy, do you mind giving us some time? So then they can go to the other team and just support them. So be there for about half an hour and then go back to the other team and provide some support. It's a little bit easier on virtual because they're not having to be at a table. They can just check who's messaging them. With the hybrid hackathons, the mentors will be actually at the table with their participants. So it's easier for them. Well, it's not easier, but they'll then be physically present there and then move to the other table. So they'll get notifications, same as you do, about when someone tags them, and then they can go to that channel.
Okay, thank you. Clarification questions, no?
I think I'm good. Yeah, I just had another question about deadlines, for instance, for mentors. And we were wondering if Google Forms will be closed at one point, or will they be open all the time till the beginning of the event? So, yeah, we just want to be sure that we will not be late.
Jess, would you like me to hop in here?
Okay.
So previously we extended the recruitment deadlines to the 5th, but we have had more requests to extend it. So I think what's best would be to keep it similar to the support grant and be the 23rd of Feb,
Perfect. Yeah,
just
thank
to
you.
give you a little bit of time to finalize your Techathon recruitment.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, it will be very
Yeah, I think
helpful because initially we plan to have a fewer number of teams. Now there are more because too many registered, and then we have to re-recruit it just to add more, to recruit more mentors. Thank you very much for that. There's the question from Fadawa.
Adela, would you like to share your question?
Yeah. Good day to all.
Hello.
Yeah, nice to join you again. I have a question that I'm about to ask concerning the recruitment of the teams.
Okay, go ahead. What's your question?
Yes, based on the request that we have been doing in the my school community, we have had a meeting with the school principals, the teachers, and some of the parents. So me and the co-ambassadors have already sat with them and discussed, but there are some due process that needs to be followed here because according to the community guidelines, and some of the cultural barriers that we are facing. So there is a little delay in the teenagers recruitment here. So I wanted to know the actual deadline of these registrations of the participant. And if you can see in my sheet, there is no single mentor that has been registered due to the processes that have been made here. I've already discussed it with the head of department of the computer engineering here in my department. But the people that they are going to be assigned due to his absence, he went to the Federal Capital Territory, and he is yet to come back so that we sit down with him and assign the mentors that we are going to. Sorry, we are going to assign the mentors and the judges for the respective teams of the teenagers. So I want to know the actual deadline of the participants registration and the judges as well.
Thank you so much for your question. So our deadline is currently set at the 23rd of February. So you do still have a bit of time to get your participants in. If you feel that you are still going to struggle to get participants by that deadline, I really hope not, because it will mean that you have quite limited time then to do your team sorting and everything. But if that is going to be a challenge for you, please just let us know on Discord and we can then try and make a plan for you. But it's great that you've met with everyone and all the registrations should start coming soon. So really exciting.
Okay. Yesterday we went to one school and we met even the school too. Unfortunately, last week when we went there for the outreach, the principal went to the Federal Capital Territory. So when they went to the Federal Capital Territory, it takes some days before the return. So we had to wait for them, even if we have forwarded the letter to them. So fortunately, yesterday I went there again to see whether the principal is around, and I met him and I discussed vividly about our own mission and vision. And I thank God he has accepted and he promised to register not less than 50 or 100 teenagers in his school. So I think this is the only
Incredible.
insight that I'll share with you.
Well done, Kazawa. That sounds amazing. I think it's going to be such a great Techathon, and I'm so glad that the school is supporting the mission as well. Just incredible. If you have any challenges with the form or anything like that, let us know and we'll be able to provide support. And yes, just a big well done, and we hope to see those registrations coming in soon.
Thank you so much.
Perfect. Any other questions? I'm not seeing any questions coming in right now, but as a reminder, we are available on Discord on the questions channel or in your location channel. So just tag us, let us know your questions. If you have any questions that you feel haven't been answered correctly tonight, Tatiana, if you still have questions about how mentors and teams should be allocated, just pop us a message and we will able to provide maybe screenshots, which might be a bit easier for you to see visually. But yeah, in the meantime, well done, everyone. I think it is incredible to see all the work coming through, and I know a lot of you have been very hard at work. Fadawa, just from your story today, it sounds like you've been doing a lot of nudging and a lot of pushing, and finally the results are starting to show. So well done. Keep up the good work. It is nearly time for our Inspiration Week, which will be next week. Really, really exciting, and we cannot wait to have all of you and all of your participants join us. Please be sure to share the Inspiration Week link with them so they can register for the sessions that they'd like to join. This is a really good way for them to get some insights into how the state of AI and tech is at the moment, but also to get some insights that may help them build their project. So super cool. And then also tomorrow we will be hosting what we call our Teens in Action Forum. So this is we're doing, I think it's AI in healthcare tomorrow. So we have Jessica Morley who's coming to join us and do a talk on AI in healthcare. And if any of your participants would like to join, we can then share the information with you about that, and we'd love to have them join us for that as well. It is a limited event, so we do have limited seats. So first come, first serve, and it's going to be really great, and hopefully give them also some ideas for their projects when it comes to the Techathon. Great. And Tika, have I missed anything for the update that you'd like to share?
No, nothing from my side. I was just adding the action forum link. There you go, Patrice. But we will also be sharing it on Discord in case you miss it. Nice to see
We'll
you.
see you then, Patrice. Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. And I hope you all have a great rest of the week. I cannot believe it is only Wednesday. It felt like the week has been very slow. But I hope you all have a great one. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to also just quickly mention, in case you missed the update on Discord, this is the last Google Meet briefing session that we will be having, because next week we'll be having Inspiration Week and Bootcamp Week in the same time.
And
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. We are about to go past time, but I hope you all have a great week and good luck with your planning. And please do reach out to us on Discord with any questions that may come up afterwards. Have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, or morning, and we will chat to you soon. Bye.